Right then, you're back here with the Art Smart Show. My name's Paul Dawkins. I've got Graham Pritchard in here at the moment. Now, he's come in to talk about the art of Tai Chi and the health benefits and all the rest of it. But there's more than just Tai Chi and Qigong you do, because you're a masseur as well, a fully qualified professional masseur.
I teach. I don't teach. So I practice sports massage therapy, and I qualified in '97. I've been practicing at the Health Hydro in Swindon since 1998. I've done thousands of treatments, and like Tai Chi, I'm still in training. It's a requirement of the organisation I'm with, the London and Counties Society of Physiologists, as we're called. You carry on with your CPD points.
CPD?
Was professional development.
Continuing
professional development points. And sports massage is a very, very useful skill. It's not just for sports people, and particularly I practice a form really called advanced sports and remedial massage, and it's about manipulating the soft tissue to find points of tension in the body that can be released, to stretch out tightened muscles. Traditionally, if you go back hundreds of years, doctors and masseurs would work hand in hand. That's because massage is such a powerful therapy. In fact, and I'm perhaps a little bit biased, but I think it's probably certainly one of the most significant therapies out there. And I talk as a therapist, that also quite a large percentage of my own clients are osteopaths, chiropractors, acupuncturists, hypnotherapists, bone technique people, quite a wide range of people. So sports massage is a very important discipline of mine, actually.
I mean, you mentioned about massage and how it used to be work with doctors. Massage is now considered a form of alternative medicine, isn't it?
Yes.
And you mentioned about the Daoyin, with the Chinese breathing exercises or energy exercises, how that's viewed as a form of alternative medicine. Now, once upon a time, it used to be called medicine. But now we've got these scientific approaches. I mean, no disrespect to doctors, but all of a sudden it's been moved to the side, and they ignore or not so much ignore.
Yes.
It's not seen as important, the importance of breathing and the importance of, as you say, the tensions in the muscles.
Of touch. If you look at the modern therapy, a lot of therapy is moving away from personal interaction. I mean, when my mum visited the doctor recently, she said the doctor didn't even once look at her. As she was speaking to him, he was right, and this is no disrespect to doctors as well. I know some doctors, and some of the doctors are my friends, but he didn't listen to her. He was just writing out a slip when she came in, and she said, "You're not listening to me, are you?" And I think it shocked him a bit, because some doctors I know don't like to be confronted, but basically there's a movement away from this very personal healing interaction. And I tell you what, healing can begin the moment the therapist starts to truly listen to the person who's coming to see him or her.
Absolutely, because one of the things that we discussed earlier in this program is the ability for people to let go. And sometimes people want to go to a therapist so they can actually start to share. It's one of those a problem shared is a problem halved mentalities, where the minute they can start to talk to somebody, even if it's somebody who they don't know personally, for example, a therapist, whether it be physical or counselling or something like that, they start to let go, they start to release. And these tensions are given physical form. A lot of the tensions you deal with are physical injuries, but also you come across a lot that have built up over a period of time, where it's just been a mental stress that's made them change the way they're holding their posture, and that has formed into a knot or a continuous muscle problem that you then find yourself having to work with, don't you?
And listening is through the eyes as well. Listening is watching. Listening is when you touch, you listen through your hands. And people generally suffer from not being heard, not truly being heard.
Yeah, and you said about the lack of physical contact. I mean, there's a lot of problems with that, because obviously people are worried about litigation with that sort of thing going on. I mean, if you had no physical contact as a sports masseur, you'd have no clients.
Yes.
You wouldn't be able to do anything. But that sort of tension, people forget that when you're a child or when you're growing up, physical contact is such a comforting thing.
Wonderful. And for new patients, if they're nervous, I always recommend that they bring someone with them. Fortunately, I work at a clinic with a wonderful reputation. But if we just go back to this touch and listening, there are many therapies now where, perhaps in modern physiotherapy as well, I have to say, and I think physiotherapy is an absolutely wonderful science, first of all. I treat some physiotherapists, and there's a movement away from actually touching the client. And we mentioned the Bible earlier. If you look at the New Testament, some of the healings, it was done through touch, through this wonderful caring touch. And there's something so wonderful about caring touch. We've spoken a little bit about martial arts, in the sense you're using touch then to destroy, to hurt, to harm. With caring touch, you're using in a completely different way, and it's based upon one's intention. Is one's intention to harm, or is one's intention to heal? Now, with Tai Chi, we can develop our intention. As you know, with martial arts, you can get a very strong intention. And so what we're doing then in massage is changing that intention and making it a holy, healing experience. And that's what you're endeavoring to do with your client.
Yeah, it's the mentality of people today. As we said, people's mentality has become so stressful that they assume that any form of touch is bad touch. And they start from that, and you have to convince them otherwise in many cases. It's almost like they've got that sort of idea that's going on. Why don't you go see a masseur? What, somebody I don't know touching me? And they've got this protective shield that's built up because they've got this opinion.
And it is a shield, and the shield is reflected in the body itself. The body becomes hard, like onto a shield, and then the job of the masseur, the skilled masseur, is to relax the client, so they feel a little bit more responsible for their tension, and they can start to relax. And perhaps you might use oils, or perhaps you might use gentle music in the background, or gentle tone, or perhaps if you are experienced people, or a lot of my people come to see me, it's referrals. People have already heard about me, and hopefully it's been nice things already. They kind of believe me even before I've touched them, which is not always the case, because I treat people who've never even heard of me, which is, no wonder either, because I'm not such a big, important person. But there's something, we develop these shields, and it's reflected in our physicality, and the muscles become very thick. And the idea is that you start to release those shields off so that people can feel again. And we develop shields to protect ourselves from the world, so we don't feel pain, or we like to numb ourselves. And it's very interesting with body work, that all of it is reflected in the physical body. So the person's, I've treated people who have been sexually abused, and one has to be very, very careful. In fact, one lady, I won't go into it, but I just held her hand for a long period of time before I even began working on her. And so it's all reflected in the body. The body is like a recording apparatus. It just records one's experience.
And from as speaking as a hypnotherapist outside of this show, that I find it the other way around as well, because although you say the body records what experiences you've gone through mentally your body will actually change how you approach things. So it's almost like a circular problem, which is where the therapy you're offering, or different people are offering, as well as the Tai Chi and the Qigong and all of these different things, can help people break that cycle of the body making the mind tense and the mind making the body tense.
The body records experience. So if there's grief, it's like a blow to the stomach, so the shape of the body will change, like someone's been hit in the stomach. But the body doesn't know the difference between a thought, an imaginary experience, and a real experience. So if you start to imagine there's something wrong with you, the body will comply.
And that's what happens in a lot of stress situations, because it's like you're imagining that, for example, your manager's going to have a go at you. So you're imagining that you're being physically threatened even though you're imagining the words. Even when somebody's talking to you in an aggressive way, your body reacts as though you're being physically threatened, and it either cowers or it drops in the adrenaline ready to fight or something like that. And those chemicals have got to go somewhere. And if you've got tension in the first place, it can't be flushed through. Yeah. So you build up these tensions that really need some form of clearing out.
And massage speeds up, particularly sports massage, speeds up the elimination of those toxins.
What's the difference between sports massage then and, let's say, Swedish or Thai or any other type?
Well, I don't train in Swedish massage, but generally speaking, Swedish massage is a much more gentle procedure, or holistic massage, or beauty massage. It's designed to relax the person only. Whereas sports massage, we're trained to deal with injuries, whether whiplash, back problems, hip problems, knee problems, ankle problems, you name it.
Sciatica.
Sciatica, exactly. And so we're trained to deal specifically with injuries rather than it's not just about relaxing the client so we can go deeper to the area that is causing the problem and hopefully release that area off.